Trust me, it's just the beginning.
Welcome to Hollywood Impact. Eric and Christian here.
What's up?
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
It's going good. We're ready to talk about the Penguin.
I'm so ready. I have been excited to talk about this for a while. The finale just dropped not too long ago, and it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Let me go ahead and give you a quick, brief plot summary. The Penguin, set in the aftermath of the Batman movie, follows Oz Cobb as he navigates the chaotic power vacuum in Gotham's criminal underworld, attempting to seize control by playing different crime families against each other, particularly the Falcones and the Maronis, while facing off against Carmine Falcone's ruthless daughter, Sophia, who also seeks to lead the family business. The show stars Colin Farrell, Kristen Milotti, and Renzi Feliz as Victor. If I've mispronounced those, I apologize. Just some audience reactions. Looks like Rotten Tomatoes has got it at 95%.
That's pretty good.
That doesn't surprise me. Now, what did surprise me, and if I'm wrong, correct me, but IGN gave it a 5.
That was wild. That I did not understand. When they first released that, because I follow them on Instagram, all the works, as soon as I saw that, I was like, there's no way. Like, I've already seen the first episode or two of this show. Like, there's no way that this could be a 5 unless it like completely plummets. And spoiler alert, it doesn't. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So, that's when I saw that, I'm like, am I looking at the right website?
Yeah.
Because I thought that was
strange.
A little harsh.
I think that, and I've looked at a lot of the comments of their stuff, I think IGN has lost a lot of their credibility because I think they are primarily for reviewing video games. I think that's their that's how they started. That's their strong suit. And even then, like, people make jokes about how they give everything a 7. They give everything. That's like the running gag for IGN, and I agree. They do give so many things a 7, but to give this show a 5 to me was crazy because this show, it offers so much. There's some people who compared it to The Sopranos. I disagree with that. I think it kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones a little bit. Like it's very like politic-y, a lot of like underworld crime stuff. Like everyone's playing each other, everyone's trying to get to the one spot, and I think that Colin Farrell as Oswald is just, come on, how good is he?
Dude, he's
so good.
When they first announced him as the Penguin for the Batman, I was like, what?
I was like, that's a little odd.
Yeah, but then when I saw what they did and how he was, I'm like, he nailed it.
There are people who think that Danny DeVito as the Penguin from one of the original Batman films,
Returns.
There's a lot of people who still think he is the best version of this character, and I think Colin Farrell completely blows him out of the water. I think this is a version that I think that like may not be completely comic accurate, but based on the world they've established, I think that it's perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely perfect.
So taking out Colin Farrell, I think we both agree he was amazing.
For sure.
Who would be your favorite character in this series? Who did you lean towards?
And we can't choose Oswald?
No, Oswald's a gimme.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
I like Victor.
Yeah.
Victor has a arc that I really enjoy, and as someone who also has speech problems, like exact same as him, it's not as bad as him. It did feel kind of nice, and this is a little bit hypocritical of what I've said about other things, but it does feel kind of nice to have someone major in the media in something like this who I can relate to on that level. And I love how he's kind of taken under Oz's wing. Of course, no spoilers. We're not going to spoil this because you need to go watch this. But I love how he's taken under his wing, and he's such a good-hearted, kind individual who's thrown into this horrible world. And I like that through all of it, he still tries to retain being like a good person.
He's
like
kind of
being who he is.
The heart.
He is. He's the heart of the show.
Like the only heart.
Probably the only heart. Yeah, so it's probably Vic.
Yeah. I was kind of, I really like Sophia.
That was going to be my next.
Sophia's
She's
good. She's super hot. She's crazy. I love it. But what I really liked about it was
I love how that's on your list of like, okay, well, she's good. She's good acting. She's hot.
Best, I mean, the hottest
glossy.
mullet in Gotham City ever.
Wow.
Hands
Okay.
down.
All
Come
right.
on.
Sure.
Come on, son.
Whatever.
But what I really liked was just the organized crime element of it. Like the Falcones and the Maronis. Now, I know they were kind of touched upon some in the Dark Knight trilogy, and I think in the show Gotham, I think they kind of talked about that. But to really get like in deep with those two families, I thought was super interesting.
Yeah,
but I like it. You mentioned the Sopranos earlier. I really like the Sopranos, and yeah, there's some parallels, but just because they're both organized crime.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
They're not the same.
But I enjoy that kind of stuff.
I do too.
And I thought just seeing that part explored in the Batman world, I thought was really cool. I really like that part.
I think it fits in perfectly with what they have. I like that they make like blatant connections to the film. Like this is something where I think Marvel hasn't really done quite right yet, and I think that's the show is complementary to the movie and vice versa. Like they actually work very well together because the Penguin doesn't need his own movie. He's the type of character where a show is okay. When it was first announced, I was like, I don't know about a Penguin show. But now that I've watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, like I get it.
Yeah.
This makes total sense. This is actually perfect for his character. And following him as he's navigating all these crime families, all the drugs, having Victor around and having, he has to deal with his mother as well. There's so many layers to it.
A lot of stuff
There's so many layers, and not everybody is like black and white, good and evil. Everyone's actually like pretty sucky.
Yeah.
But they have their reasonings for doing their stuff. So it's just all the characters are so interesting. The only thing that I didn't quite like about it was the Maroni family. I felt like they could have been a bigger player in things.
Sure.
I don't feel like they were as big of a presence as what they kind of talked them up to be. But I think overall, like, they do a really good job of making you understand like how intentional these people are with the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I was trying to find something that I really didn't like about this show to nitpick it, and I can't find much.
Yeah.
The only thing that
Hardly
was
anything.
sticking in my head was that Gotham City sucks.
This place sucks.
Like, why would people want to live there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, no wonder Batman is so pissed off, because Gotham is awful.
Yeah.
But then I got to thinking, like, can you imagine, like, if Trump did a rally in Gotham City? He's like, they're eating the dogs. And then people would be like, yeah, they probably are.
You're like, yeah, probably. He's doing it right now. Look at him.
He's eating
right
a
there.
dog right here.
Commissioner Gordon,
He's got to go.
Harvey Dent, I love that guy. He's fantastic. Just so good. But no, like, I like that from the events of the film, they make you understand how impactful that event was.
Yeah.
And how even the bad people were like, that Riddler dude was nuts.
Yeah.
Like, that dude was actually crazy. And I like that Oz kind of uses it to his advantage a little bit. Like, he uses it as like an emotional ploy. Like, hey, like, this person was crazy, caused all this stuff. Let's try to redo it our way. And I think that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And I might be biased because, like, political thriller, this kind of stuff is my type of show. The show's good. Please go watch it.
Now, do you think in this Reeves universe they're going to stick with non-superhumans? I haven't really done any research on that, but or do you think they're going to keep it? I think they got to keep it grounded in reality. And I guess, again, my opinion comes from just regular dude opinion that just likes watching the stuff. Like, I'm going to go to my dad's house after this.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to see him. I want to see his dog. I'm going to go to Walmart and maybe get a Jack's Pizza and some zinc. I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I think they should keep this grounded in reality kind of like they did with the Dark Knight, and then maybe James Gunn with the Brave and the Bold can get into more of the superhuman type stuff.
Okay.
Didn't know what you thought about that.
The Dark Knight trilogy, which is regarded as like one of the best superhero trilogies ever made in history, it didn't need a bunch of superhumans. I mean, Bane was like the closest you could get to like a superhuman, but it was pretty grounded. It didn't need any of that stuff, and I think that that's okay. I think that they don't, because it's labeled as Elseworld.
Yeah.
As far as James Gunn's DCU, it's labeled as Elseworld. So it's not like the sacred timeline,
Right.
that kind of thing. So I think keeping it just in Gotham with just Batman and a bunch of villains or whoever it may be, I think keeping it there, I think would probably work perfectly in its favor. I think introducing things like Superman and like maybe Poison Ivy or like Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, or Brainiac, stuff like that. I think introducing those kind of things into this world would feel a little weird.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they're going for a more realistic approach. And whereas if they made it more comical and whimsical, more action than like thriller or like gritty, then that would work, but not in this case. I think they should stick with what they're doing right now.
Would you rather see a season 2 of the Penguin or have them explore another villain in Batman's rogues gallery? Because I've heard rumors about the Joker, you know, the Joker from the Batman movie
Having his own
TV show, but I didn't know, would you rather see a season 2 of the Penguin or them to explore some other... I see the Court of Owls coming probably in the Batman films, maybe Hush. I think those are all grounded, but I didn't know if there was anybody in particular you'd like to see in another season, different show altogether.
As far as like a lead character for a show like that, I'm not 100% sure, actually. That's a little tough. I would like to see more... Yeah, Court of the Owls, super cool.
Yeah.
Would love to see a little bit more of that stuff. Villain-wise, maybe Two-Face. I think Two-Face is a great character. I think that Harvey Dent would fit perfectly into this world. I'm sure he's in there. I think that he's like in this gritty, like downtrodden place. I think that would actually be a really cool arc for him to go from like hero to villain at like the end of his series. So I wouldn't mind a Penguin season 2, but I think overall, like at this point, you could say, hey, Scarecrow is getting his own show, and I'd be like, great, I'm watching it. I'm down for it.
If they did something with just Arkham Asylum, I think would be cool too.
That would be cool.
Because how is this place still open? Like, Arkham is so awful.
It's awful, and it's horribly maintained, and people break out of it all the time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But no, they could go, they'd go a lot of different routes if they just focused on Arkham, and I think you work in the Scarecrow there, and Hugo Strange, and that kind of stuff.
That would be an interesting one.
Yeah, this show was good, dog.
The show's good.
This show's really good.
Please go watch it. Are you ready to give it a score?
I am ready. You want me to go first this time?
Yeah, you can go first.
Dude, this is a 10. This is a
10?
This is a 10, bro. Let's stop. Stop it.
He said, stop playing with me.
It's a 10. It had me from the beginning. At the beginning, the first episode, and when they ended the first episode and played 9 to 5 over the end credits, I don't know why, but I love that.
I love the music that they choose for the end credits for every episode.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
No, this is a solid 10, man. The cast is incredible. Man, it's hard to not talk about spoilers, but they landed it at the end. Like this is this thing that my deal with Marvel has been is sticking the landing on some of these shows, and I think they absolutely nailed it on this one. It's a 10 out of 10, baby.
I think I really want to give it a 10.
Just do it. Pull the trigger.
I really want to give it a 10, but I know that I have that little... You know what? even a masterpiece can have its flaws. So let's give it a 10. Let's go with the first 10 we've given all year.
Brother.
This show is pretty much perfect. I don't think anything in this world's actually perfect, but I mean, this is as close as you can get to a perfect TV show.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see like where it's going, where the universe is going. It gets you invested in a way, and it pays off really well. It does all the payoffs super well. I'm glad that there's not too much this isn't like really spoilery, but in a sense, I'm glad they don't show too much Batman or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like that's not the focus of the show, and I'm glad, because I don't want that to be like just a cheap shoe in payoff, we'll really get him if we show Batman. And it's like, well, they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do that from episode 1. They didn't need to do that for any of the others. And I think that's a good thing. And
I really think they did a good job cementing the Penguin as a serious villain.
A serious
villain. Like, he is legit. He is someone that Batman's going to have to deal with later on. And it's not, like the Danny DeVito Penguin, the Tim Burton-ish kind of cartoony or whatever. This is a serious adversary for Batman, and I think they did a good job cementing that.
Agreed. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And of course, please let us know what you thought of this show if you've seen it. And if you haven't, please go watch it.
Thanks, guys. See ya.